Welcome back, everybody. This is Kirk Erickson, your personality expert. We're going to be going over my personal favorite, the Game of Thrones. We're going to be doing a personality reveal to find out which character or characters fit the water sign. So stay tuned to find out. The big reveal for the Game of Thrones. Who's it going to be? The water sign extraordinaire, Daenerys Targaryen. She's the epitome of Scorpio. She will follow her heart to the nth degree. We're talking about now the intensity of Scorpio. We're talking about love or hate with equal intensity. We're talking about I will burn your ass to the ground if you cross me, which comes from my inward feelings, my destiny. Daenerys Targaryen is a 4, 6, 8, the most reactive type. She actually is number 1 type 4. I've heard a lot of different things about what people think Dany is, but based on my knowledge, without a doubt, I would say she is the type 4. She feels special. She is a one and only. She is the mother of dragons. She has quite a few names that she likes to call herself. The breaker of chains. She will back your ass up if she believes in you. This is a very loyal, intense mother of dragons. And she will stop at nothing to see the end result. Daenerys Targaryen. This brought a lot of people into the show, kept them riveted for a gymongous letdown for many people. How could she do that? How can this breaker of chains, how can this loving, intense mother, compassionate person freeing slaves turn into such a mighty destroyer? This is the nature of Scorpio, my friends. A lot of us know Scorpio. For better or worse, they are very, very passionate. Daenerys Targaryen, who raised these dragons up, knew that she had a destiny to be queen of all Westeros. Well, Daenerys, you kind of followed in the footsteps of the Mad King, your father, much to everyone's disappointment. But let's be fair. Let's discuss what a 468 and an INFP have to do with what can possibly transpire for this type. First of all, INFP, she very much is an intuitive feeler. She feels one with her destiny. She's an idealist. She's romantic about her place in the world as that mother of dragons. She feels that it's her right to not only avenge what's been done to her, but it's right for her to be queen. And she sees herself intrinsically in this role. No one else is going to take this place for her. This is where introverted feeling comes in, my friends. Introverted feeling is all about the subjective truth. Extroverted feeling, which we'll go in with the next character, has to do with what is good for everybody, what we've learned to accept as the social mores. Introverted feeling, by contrast, goes from the inner self. Well, she feels this destiny, and she's gonna ride it into the sunset. Maybe up in flames, which of course she did. Dany, such an interesting story that she had. If you've watched the show, obviously you know where she came from. Dany, freeing people, having compassion, loving these dragons. It's the hero that we all root for. Something got in the way of that, and she burned everything down. Her heart, the very thing that got her on this journey, got in her way. She was scorned. What do they say? Thou hath no fury like a lover scorned. Jon Snow, our other main character, actually fits Scorpio to some degree, Libra, but in this case, he would be a perfect example of a cusp for Scorpio Sagittarius. He is an INFJ, and he is a type 1. He must do right. He's a 1-4-6 tri-type. This is the most reactive of all type 1s. He's also very romantic into his heart. He's going to save the people. He's going to save every guy. He doesn't have to like you to save you. It's the right thing to do. This is where extroverted feeling comes in. As an INFJ, he's an introverted intuitive, supported by his extroverted feeling. So he wants to do the right thing, what's expected. As you know, he found out that Danny, who he later has a romantic relationship with, is his aunt. That doesn't sit well with extroverted feeling. You're not supposed to do that. Introverted feeling, on the other hand, says, screw all that. I'm in love with you. I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is our journey together, Jon Snow. It's us against the world. He says, I, as a king, need to do what's right for all. Not what would others think in the sense where he's too concerned. He's just wanting to be right and be a good example, so to speak. This is at least one of the reasons. And plus it doesn't seem right to him, as it wouldn't to a lot of people, to be with your aunt, even though she's a few years older. This came as a shock that was pretty much a game changer for him. That, of course, doesn't sit well with your scorned Daenerys. If she wasn't going to be with him, then she's going to burn everybody down related to him. That's what we saw happen. Her heart was hurt, and she figured, you know what? I have nothing else. I'm going to destroy it all. You've hurt my friends and family, because those related to her were executed. And I don't know who on your family was part of that, Jon Snow. But if you're not with me, you're against me. And all those people that I see represented by you, they're going down too. I'm taking no prisoners. I'm burning this down. Jon Snow, your INFJ, a lot of people have argued, is he INFJ, INFP? Well, doing the right thing according to what the social mores are is an extroverted thing to do, for better or worse. Following your own muse, for better or worse, is very much an introverted feeling thing. In this case, it got the better of her. And we had so much destruction. Fire and ice. What are we talking about here, people? Ice is the epitome of Scorpio. Fire is the epitome of Sagittarius in this case. These are your two main characters. This is the crux of the show. Also, fire. We have dragons. We have the intensity. We have the passion. That also belongs to Daenerys. And what did we find out, folks? That Jon Snow is actually a Targaryen, being the nephew of her. That's why he can communicate with the dragons. He has that fire within him. Interestingly enough, we talk about winter is coming. Winter, ice, Scorpio. This is the monster within us. This is the destructive force. But once you get destroyed, you're a phoenix rising from the ashes. This is the beauty of this show that we can all relate with on an intrinsic universal level. And a perfect example of names of our universe. What we have here with winter is coming, what about this winter? What's going on this winter with this virus? I don't want to play on this too much, but interesting the correlations that happen with a lot of the shows that we see. Winter came, it destroyed, but it did not defeat us. We join together and we destroy this thing. We can rise above this thing. We are that phoenix that rises from the ashes. Jon Snow and Danny represent us in many ways, for better or worse. We can make judgments about what this person did and didn't do. We can make judgments as we look in the mirror. But we love this show because we love these characters. Sometimes we grow to hate them, but they really epitomize what you and I are all about. Water. Water is human. Water is most of what we're made of. Water is emotion. it could be the best and the worst of our human nature. We discussed Daenerys and Jon Snow. Jon Snow is not only water, he fits fire as well. Next week we'll be discussing the fire signs and how they relate to the Enneagram and the Myers-Briggs. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button, and leave a comment, especially if you want me to describe your favorite character. Till next time, Kirk Erickson, your personality expert.